Hello everyone, this is David Blair, the Crosshairs Trader, and this is the 20th of July 2011. What I want to talk about in this short video is simply what's going on in the market and the fact that we have been inside a box, as I call it, for several months. And in order for us to have any real direction in this market, the market has to start thinking outside the box. And let me explain what I mean by that. We crosshairs traders look at the futures. We look at the S&P futures and we look at the NASDAQ futures to give us general market direction. So let's look at the ES for right now. The ES S&P futures. We've pretty much been in this box since the beginning of the year. Let's say February. We were still working on an uptrending market, but we had a much bigger pullback there in March, which led us to believe that we might be starting to get into some type of consolidation, longer term consolidation. So we had the longer pullback here below a major moving average, and we reached our high in May. And then we reached back down to our lows the entire month of June. We tested that, rose quickly over a period of 8 trading sessions back up to the highs. So very quickly took many just completely off guard, surprised many, bull and bear alike. And then we've pulled back, and as I've been talking about last week or so, we're in another consolidation within the consolidation right above a major moving average, which is the 50, and we've been sitting there. We're basically halfway in between the highs and the lows that we've had since February. This is an area that we're going to have to watch if we're going to have any direction and help us determine whether or not a continuation of the previous trend will continue, or whether or not we're going to have a reversal of the trend and we begin going down. Very important what happens right here in this area. And that's what we're watching. We're watching the ES to see if we can go back up to at least this resistance area, hold, and then break higher. If not, we're going to hold in this area simply to turn and go back down. Now the NASDAQ is a little bit different, just a little bit different. The NASDAQ has reached its highs again already. Now, if we're going to have a nice rally and start a new trend, it will be led by the techs, because the financial stocks are doing absolutely nothing. It's the tech stocks that are going to have to lead us out of this consolidation again. Consolidation started back earlier part of the year. Here's our box. And again, you can see where we've hit these highs. So our major resistance has been established, and then of course our major support has been established here. Okay. Today we hit the highs again, and we're backing up, waiting to see if we can bust out. It is very important that the NASDAQ hold again in this area, maybe consolidate within this bigger consolidation, rest here, and then break higher forcefully and with conviction, break out of this area and head higher. The problem is, a couple of weeks ago when we had this huge move up to the resistance level that we've had, the NASDAQ had already moved 8 days. So we needed it to rest here and then break higher. Well, it came back further than we would have liked. So we had some more fighting down here between the bulls and the bears, and we've tried to start to move back up, right back up to resistance. But again, the market is just having a hard time right here. Doesn't mean we won't break through it, but what I'm thinking is if we can hold in this area, build up some strength, get a lot of weak hands out, we have an opportunity to break higher and begin another trend. If not, we're going to hold here, and just like with the ES, we'll just simply say nope, it's not going to happen right now, and we're going to head back down. Very important right here. The reason this is very important also is because when we look at individual stocks, we've got a lot of individual stocks, especially leadership stocks, ones that have already had earnings during this earnings seasons, others that have not yet, that are waiting to either break out in this area. They're on their charts, they're either sitting underneath resistance waiting to break out, or they've already broken out and are coming back and testing. That's what we want to see. We want to see the market break out forcefully, and we want to see these individual stocks, once they pull back and test, break out themselves and continue higher. Then we can have the general market and the individual stock correlation. We can trade the ETFs or we can trade the individual stocks. And what I mean by that is when we look at a stock like Wynn, they've had earnings. They've already had a nice run. They had their breakout. Okay. They had their earnings right here. But they've already had a nice run, just like the general market here. General market had its 8 days up, so did Wynn. It broke out, but after it's already had a strong move. It's gone sideways, had earnings, now back down to where it was before after the breakout. So Wynn is one that we're watching to go sideways and then give us a brand new breakout up in this area and start to head higher. But until the general market gives the all clear and starts moving higher, stocks like Wynn will probably struggle. Coke, KO, same thing. We're actually getting some signals on several of these, breakout signal, but until the general market gives us a go ahead, we're not going to trade many of these. We're going to trade lightly or not at all. But here's one, Coke breaking out. We need it to test right here in this area or go sideways just like the general market and then break higher. That's what we need to see. Halliburton, HAL, same thing. It's trying to break higher, but unless the market can continue, it will fail this breakout and drop back down into the long box that we've had on Halliburton for the same length of time that we've had in the general market. We need the market to go higher, and Halliburton will follow. They've already had earnings, so we don't have to worry about earnings. TJX, same thing. Been in a nice long box since February. Needs to think outside the box, which it's working on right now. It's thinking outside the box. And let's see if it can hold this area and then continue higher. That's TJX. Amazon. Amazon. It's had a nice run. Broke out just like Wynn with the general market. Had those 8, 9, 10 days up. Now it has to come back and test and relax, which it's done. It just could not close above that high with the market being a little weak today. It came back some. So we're watching Amazon to continue to build up some strength to continue higher. How about Apple? Apple's already had earnings, blowout numbers, but that doesn't matter. It had already had a long run. Look at that. All the way up into earnings. Here's its breakout level. So we're going to watch Apple. After its long box, we're going to watch Apple in this area. Let it rest. It's gone too far too fast. Let it rest, and once it does that, we'll be watching to trade Apple for the next leg up if the general market will allow us to. Last one, IBM. IBM also had earnings yesterday. Had a big move up. Actually gave us a signal, but we're going to wait somewhere in this area and allow IBM, if it can stay above that breakout level, IBM will be one that will help lead the market higher. Break out of this box that it's been in, just like with the general market as it is done. It is one that has broken out, and now we're waiting after earnings to let it relax a little bit and then trade higher. I look at general market and individual stock correlation. I like to trade with the general market. I think it helps the individual stocks to rise also. And that's why we look for the general market at areas of support and resistance, whether it's trending or not. And that's why we're concerned right now with where the NASDAQ and the S&P futures are. We simply want to see some kind of decision outside this box, and then we can begin looking at so many of these stocks that are sitting right in this level right here on their own charts begin to move higher. If you got any questions, please contact me at david@thecroshairstrader.com. www.thecroshairstrader.com is my website. You can read my blog posts. They're free. Contact me if you're interested in any of my premium services. Would love to talk to you. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.